it's Gina Tell. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the new bunny tell. So I created the bunny tell in addition to the new teddy tell pattern. So we're going to go over all of that in the video. You do have to own the teddy tell pattern in order to sew the new updated version of the bunny tell, but it's so cute. I know you'll love it. So I did want to talk a little bit about the pattern before we get started sewing. So the bunny tell pattern can be made with patchwork. It can also be made with just 1 yard. This is a Shannon Minky, and so it's a very beginner friendly pattern. Even if you don't think that it looks beginner, it really is. I do also want to mention that I have several video tutorials showing how to make the teddy tell pattern with all the varieties, whether it's the 1 yard or the patchwork or the strips or the crazy bear. We made a bow tie, so there's a lot of additional videos that are from the teddy tell release, and so I will want you to go back and reference those in making this, because I'm only going to show you the ear additions in this tutorial. So make sure you check out those videos. I'll link them down below. If you already own the teddy tell pattern, then you're going to get bunny tell for free. And so bunny tell is, there is a template, and then next to the template is some quick cutting instructions. So you can read through this the first time, and then make sure you read all the way through it. And then if you want to just a quick reference how much to cut and what else to do, that's on here. So you might want to make 2 pages or print this one twice so that you have one to cut out. You want to cut this piece out so that you can put it down on your fabric, and then maybe print another one so you can keep it with your pattern. Okay, so bunny tell has ears, and bunny tell has a little fur tail, and there are several different things you can do with the tail. I purchased a package of 4 of these little guys on Amazon for a few dollars, and then when you stuff the your hole is right here, and so I just basically took a needle and stuck it through there and through the part. I don't think there's any real good way to do that, so I just basically tried to keep the seam from showing, and I just shoved the needle all the way through a couple of times to get it stuck on there real good. I would not gift this to a super little, a little kid that's gonna pull it off, unless you're just, I mean, it's pretty hard to choke on this, but just want to make sure that I make you aware. And then you can add the bow tie, or you can just do a regular bow. This one's with Shannon Minky, and so he just has a little bow tie on him, and he also has the little tail, and so this one just has a bow. All right, so make sure that you reference the other videos on how to get to this point, because what we're going to do when we start on bunny tell, we are going to jump right to page 3, which is the templates and the placements. So we've already quilted, we've already sewn all the pieces together, and we've quilted it all, and now we're getting ready to cut it out. So that's the phase that we're in right now in order to make bunny tell, because everything is the same until we get to the ear part. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to the cutting table, and I'm going to show you how to do the ears. Okay, so we're cutting out our bear front, which is basically also our bunny front. So when we're doing when we're making a bunny, we're just going to fold the ear over, and we're going to pretend like he doesn't have an ear. So we've got it pinned down, and then we're going to trim all the way around it. We're just omitting the ear. And so I also want to make a mention that this is where the eye is, and if I push it up just a little bit, that section would be over my black fabric, and I don't want that because I want to be able to see my eyeball. So I pushed it down as far as it can go down on the piece that I've quilted here, so that the eyeball is in this white and pink section. So now we're going to cut around it, and then we're going to flip it over just like this. So we're going to cut around this side, then we're going to flip it over so it's a mirror image, and then I'm going to probably keep it the same way so that the eye is in the white area, and then we're going to trim it around that way. Cut out additional pieces. They can be 2.5-inch pieces to match the rest of your bear. They can be 4-inch pieces. They can be little tiny pieces. You can do whatever you want to. Since this one's strips, you could sew little tiny strips. You could cut them in 1-inch strips and sew them that way. So basically you just want a piece that is going to equal 8.5 by 4.5. So as long as you sew together a piece of some kind of something that is 8.5 by 4.5, you will have, you want 4 of those, and then that will be plenty. So you can have, there's a lot of flexibility in how you want to actually make the ears. Okay, so since the front of this particular bunny has the stripes sideways, I decided I don't want to do the square patchwork. So I'm just going to make them super scrappy. So when we do that, we're just going to line it up on the top. And like I said, you just want it to be 4.5 by 8.5 so that you can sew across the edge. That's going to cut it a little bit close. So you can always just put another little strip on the top, just to make sure you have enough. And then you're going to do a second one just like that, and then we're going to put them good side to good side. So let me sew those up. Okay, so here's our 2 pieces to make our ear. And so they're all just haphazard. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to put those good side to good side, and I think I'm actually going to put them like this. And I'm not even trying to match the seams. I actually don't want them to match. So we're going to put it just like that. And that gives us enough since I put those extra pieces on the top. And you could definitely iron it. I probably should iron it, but in the interest of the video, I'm not going to. And then we're going to start back here. We're going to back stitch, and then we're going to sew right on the line. We're not sewing on the paper, we're just sewing right next to the paper. And when I sewed past the end just a little bit and back stitched. So if you want your ear to be a little bit shorter, you can always just shove that part inside when you sew. So it doesn't hurt to make the ear longer just when you're in this stage, because you can decide however you want it. Then take the piece off, and then I'm going to get some bigger scissors. And then we're going to just cut this with a 1/4 inch seam. And then we will flip it inside out. And when it's not quilted, it's a lot easier to flip. I will say that. Okay, so now that we're done sewing that ear together, we can do a couple of different things. You can go ahead and be done and top stitch it, and you can go ahead and top stitch it and go ahead and just be finished, or you can stuff it with a little bit of polyfill if you want it to be a little bit stuffed. And so, or you can just do nothing. You don't even have to put a top stitch on it if you don't want to. But I think it might hold up a little bit better if you top stitched it. All right, so I have a dark gray thread in my machine because I just made a diaper bag for a friend that was primarily black, so this is not necessarily going to match the thread that is on the quilting. But there is your first ear. So I think it actually looks really cute with the seams just kind of not matching. That way you can kind of audition it and see which side you like the front of it to be. But it looks really cute with just mismatched fabric, just various pieces. Okay, so this is how we cut out the bear, and so now I want to show you the difference here that we're going to use to cut out the bunny. So on his ear, we're going to just fold his ear over, and we're going to pretend like he doesn't have an ear. And so when you're cutting it out, you don't have to cut out the ear, I'm just showing you. So we're not doing an ear at all. No ears, no ear. Okay, and so then what we're going to do is we're going to take a pin and we're going to put it in right there. And then we're going to take another pin and put it in right there. So that's the hole for our ear. So that's really the only difference in cutting. So I'm going to finish cutting. I'm going to do that for both sides and then I'll meet you back. We're going to mark with a pen, a friction pen for the nose and for the eyeball, and then I just do that, and then we're going to flip it over and do the same thing. So nose is going to go there, and I also mentioned in the videos that it is best to cut out your template and keep your paper one so that it looks new, and cut out your template with muslin, because if you look at this one, it is a mess because I have cut on it and there's rips and I've cut the end of that one off, and so it is definitely better after you purchase it to keep this paper one forever and then just continue to cut the template out of muslin so that it lasts longer. Okay, so now we have the spot marked for the nose and the eyeballs, and we're gonna sew. When we sew, we're gonna stop for the nose, but so the nose is right here, so I'm going to make a pin mark for the nose. So we're going to start sewing up here, and then we get to the nose section, we're going to stop, we're going to back stitch, and we're going to move just about 1/4 of an inch, and we're going to start again, back stitch, and then keep going. So what we're going to do is now we've got our good side to good side for the front and the back. So now we're going to sew. This is the front because this is the nose piece. So we're going to start. Okay, so we now have the front of the bear laying like this. That's his eyeball. So this is the front of the bear and this is the back. So we're going to lay them good side to good side. And then in your spaces where you have marked for your ears, you're just going to slip an ear in there. And it does not have to be in any exact place, just in between where your marks are. And then you can take one of your pins and pin it down. And then there's in between the other two ears, and so you can take one of your pins and mark it. So the same thing with this one. So now you're going to take an ear and you're just going to tuck it inside there, and make sure you pay attention to which side you want on the front if it matters to you. And so there is the inside of the ear. So this is just in between the two layers, and I'm just going to put it in between the two cats and then pin it down, and then I'm going to repin with those same pins, and then take that one out. So now when you sew your pieces together, now your ear is in there and your other ear is in there, and so you just want to make sure that you have your ear pulled through enough that you don't have raw edges showing. This one might need to come up just a little bit. So there's the piece for the ear. And so when you sew, you're just going to sew across the same as you normally would, and then you have your hole to flip it inside out, and then your ears are going to be inside there. Okay, so let's go stitch it and see how it looks. So this is what it's going to look like without the back side on it. It's just a pinned ear here and a pinned ear there. And there's going to be, there's the face underneath there. So so here we have our sweet little love bunny. So I have started using the Hobbs Simply Stuffing. It is great. I really like the way that it feels, and so that's what I'm going to stuff my bear or my bunny with right now. Okay, y'all, we have finished our little love bunny. Isn't it sweet? So there's our little ears, and then I put a little raffia bow on it. And then these are the little tails that I bought from Amazon. There was 4 in a package. I think they were $3.99 or maybe $4.99, and I can link those down below. But that's what the little tail looks like. And so it's super cute. So remember that you have to buy the teddy tail pattern in order to get the free bunny tail ear update. So check that out on my website, thread-graffiti.com. And please like the video if you enjoyed today, and make sure that you also check out all of the other videos that I did to make the teddy tail. I have tons of videos on how to make that one. And please subscribe and come back and check us out next time. Thanks a bunch. Have a great day.